But for now, let's go over to the United States that has announced the deployment of additional military assets to West Asia, including ballistic missile defense destroyers and long-range B-52 bomber aircraft. Now, it comes as a warning to Iran as it trades tit-for-tat strikes with Israel. Pentagon spokesperson Major General Pat Ryder said the United States will take every measure to defend American personnel or interests in the region should they be targeted by Iran or its proxies. The new forces, Ryder said, will begin to arrive soon. The announcement comes as the fear of an Iranian retaliation looms over Israel for its October 26th attack. Iran backed the Hezbollah, said that it launched a salvo of rockets at Israel's intelligence base near Tel Aviv in the early hours of Saturday. Israeli military said that the siren were activated following the arrival of suspicious aerial targets from Lebanon. Now, the situation is being monitored, it added. Earlier, a missile strike in the Sharon area wounded 19 people. The police said after the military reported 3 projectiles were fired from Lebanon into central Israel. As the country continues to pound Gaza, Gaza's government media office reported that 84 Palestinians, including more than 50 children, were killed in 2 Israeli attacks on residential buildings in northern Gaza. Hamas militants continue to be on target. On Friday, the IDF announced the killing of Izz al-Din Qassab, one of the last remaining members of the group's Politburo still in Gaza. Now, the IDF later released a video which it said showed the airstrike in Khan Yunis that killed Qassab. In Lebanon, the health ministry said that 52 people have been killed in Israeli strikes on Baalbek Hermel region, which lies in the country's east. The IDF had not issued evacuation orders before the attacks, and the ministry said this. In fact, meanwhile, Israel's cabinet on Friday approved a 2025 national budget, which is a wartime financial package that the far-right finance minister Bezalel Smotrich said supported the country's ongoing wars and encouraged economic growth. The budget, totaling about $162 billion, includes a $2 billion package to support reserve soldiers. Anas, let's go back to you again. Tell me, what is the mood that you see on the ground there, especially with this recent tit-for-tat strikes that one is seeing as early as the one on a base in Tel Aviv this morning? What do you hear from people around you? Have you been able to speak to someone around you?
Well, it's a mixed bag of emotions. We've been here reporting for the past 2 days, and it's a mixed bag of emotions when we talk about the mood at large. While people are adamant and jubilant of the fact that their government did respond, and the fact that there is a new government which would not want to have been seen as a weaker government following the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh and Hassan Nasrallah, at the same time, they're concerned about the ramifications of a protracted conflict. The dollar to Tohmat ratio, which is the Irani Tohmat, the local currency, that rose to about 25% in the days of the Irani attack on Israel on the 1st of October. So there is a direct bearing on the economy, and there's a direct cost on the economy, and Iran's economic conditions have not been ideal, to say the least. That's something that the slogan on which Masoud Pezeshkian, the incumbent president, fought the elections, in fact won the elections on as well, the slogan of change. So largely speaking, while the government and the people would want to support their government, in fact are supporting their government, but at the same time they would want something more proportionally done rather than emotionally done, because any impact of a long-term haul would have a significant bearing on the people of Iran at large. Isha?
Well, that's also keeping in line with what the Supreme Leader of Iran said, that this will be within the ambit of international law, but however, a response will be there. What does that, you think, entails? Because, if a certain decisive step needs to be taken to end this tit for tat that we've been seeing over the last few weeks, how does one keep that proportional while at the same time arrive at a conclusion, so to say?
Well, I mean, if you look at it and if you objectively analyze it, it would be seen under the realm of escalation being put down by Tehran. Though the Supreme Court leader a short while back, while addressing students from different universities, mainly from the University of Tehran, because today is National Students' Day, and he said that this will not be an emotional response, but rather it is a much warranting response because Iran has been challenged. Now, when you decipher these words, or when you go into the depth of these words, that's when you realize that any event or any action that Iran would take and then read it in context of the statements being made by Israel, can any such events or actions by Iran can result in engulfing the region at large. That is something that no one, and I repeat, no one can afford. Not Israel, not Iran. This is a 700-kilometer distance. There are at least two different countries that they have to cross over: Lebanon, Iraq, or Jordan, and then Iraq and onwards to Iran, and vice versa. So an escalation does no good to anyone, but at the same time, Iran is adamant, and now with these statements, even including the one that came from the Supreme Leader himself, it is now abundantly clear that Iran definitely will respond. It is only a matter of a time of its choosing.
Right. Anas, very quickly, how is United States deploying extra troops in the West Asia being read in Iran?
It's been seen with a lot of skepticism. That's why the head of the Strategic Council for Foreign Relations has said that Iran should and is considering to tweak its long-range ballistic missile program. Isha?
Thank you so much, Anas, for joining us with the latest on that. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.